Hey everyone, so today I'll be showing how to set up SFML 2.6.1 with Android Studio. And so yeah, this should be just a simple tutorial. So this is me after filming that video, and it wasn't all that straight to the point. Some things have changed since I use a version of Android Studio that is 2 years old now, and some things have been deprecated, and therefore I had to install older versions of specific things. So you'll see that. Yeah, it's not very straight to the point, but you'll see what I mean. I have here a fresh new install of Windows as well as a factory reset phone, so I hope everyone should be able to follow. So for this we'll need SFML, of course, we'll need Android Studio. I'll also download CMake and Ninja build tools, and I'll be using my my template project, which you can find over on GitHub. So first of all, we'll need to download SFML 2.6.1 source code, from which we'll be able to build SFML for Android. So that is the first thing we'll need. Second of all, I'll install CMake. So let's see, what is the latest version? 3.30. We'll do a Windows installer. All right. We'll also need Ninja build tools. This and download, and we'll use Windows. All right, so I have downloaded these. Let's extract, then we'll do Ninja extract. All right, and we will install CMake. We'll add CMake shortcut to the desktop. All right, and that should be it. SFML has unzipped, that's great. We'll need that in a moment. Ninja, alright, okay, so while this installs, we'll also need, as I said, Android Studio. Okay, this asks for privileges. Okay, so download Android Studio Core. So that'll be a gigabyte, that'll take a bit of time. So, okay, CMake is installing, that is great. Alright, so I'll open command prompt now. So, let's see, what do we have here? We'll need to go into SFML sources right here. I'll copy this over. Let's go over there. Great. Alright, so now I need to wait for CMake to install, unfortunately, because we'll need to run some CMake commands to build SFML. And we'll also I think need to wait for Android Studio to install, since we'll need the Android NDK. So that'll take a bit of time. Alright, Android Studio has downloaded. Let's install that. Cool, CMake is done. Well, not sure what Android virtual device is. A pre-configured and optimized Android virtual device for testing on an emulator. We're not going to be testing on an emulator, but on a physical device, so I don't think we need that. And let's install. Okay, let's go next. Standard is fine. That seems all okay. And finish. Alright, so while that is happening, we'll download my GitHub CMake template for Android thingy. So we'll go GitHub. We'll go here. And we'll go and download as a zip. Alright, that was quite quick. So that is, I think, everything when it comes to the browser. Let's see if CMake works. CMake does not seem to work. It might be because of since I opened the command prompt before CMake has fully installed, it might be that it just needs a reinstall. And that is correct. So remember to restart the command prompt before trying to do any of this. Okay, so CMake works. Ninja, that is not recognized because it did not come with an installer. So for that, we'll need to copy this path and then environment variables. We'll go here. We'll add a new system variable. Where's my path? There it is. So edit, new, and there we go. So then we'll press on OK, 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 and we'll need to restart command prompt once again. And Ninja, oh wait, loading build.ninja, the system cannot find. Okay, so I think, yeah, we did not specify anything, but it does work. Okay, we'll unzip my project thingy. Okay, so this is the template thing. Many of these files are Android related, but so this project should work on Windows, Linux, which I use Windows subsystem for Linux, but it should, I hope, work on native Linux as well, and Android. So yeah, Android Studio will be able to open this project, and then it should be able to simply build it. Yeah, we'll need to wait for Android Studio next, since what we're missing currently is, if we go here, this PC and users, and we'll need hidden folders. So that will be hidden items. We'll need to go into app data, then local, Android, SDK. We'll need NDK. There will be a folder called NDK here. It's this setups, and we'll need that to build SFML for Android. Until then, yeah, I'll just have to wait a little bit. Alright, so it should be done, though from what I see it still installed the emulator. And it did not install the NDK, so we'll have to figure out where to get that from. Alright, so we'll go to the SDK manager and let's find SDK tools, maybe? NDK. Right, so it turns out that this NDK is NDK version 27, the latest, and SFML has some issues with it. Specifically, there's a function that has been deprecated for sensors, and because of that, the next like 30 minutes I tried to compile with this NDK 27, and it turns out, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So yeah, install NDK 26, which you'll see me installing in a moment. Okay, that's everything from me. Back to the video. So I'm here on GitHub, where we'll try to download an older version, and hopefully that will work, as Android Studio only allows us to download the latest version, so that is kind of an issue. Alright, so while that is unzipping, we have this command here, which we'll need to execute for each of the 4 architectures we'll build SFML for. Architecture is specified here, and also I now need to change this to whatever NDK version we're using, this. And yeah, okay, so that will hopefully now work. We just need to wait for it to unzip. So currently the NDK is installed here, and I'm not sure, do I need to copy all of these files over to here, or can they just stay, since CMake won't have any issues with building SFML, but Android Studio might have issues building the app. Alright, so that is done, and I'll just move that over to this folder. Okay, and I'll rename that to the exact version, so that would be 26.3.11579264. Okay, cool. Alright, now let's give this command a try. This is my failed attempt. We're gonna clear the screen. Okay, so CMake, first of all, here we specify that we want to build for Android, then we specify the location of the NDK, then we specify the architecture that we want, and then we specify that we want the standard template library to be static, and this will be debug. And one thing I forgot is to clear the cache. Alright, so I cleared the cache, and you should make these 4 folders since we're going to build for these architectures. So first of all, we're going to build for ARM32, which is this, and let's give it a try. And I messed something up. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. Alright, let's give it a try. Alright, so that worked, and now let's hope that it builds. So cmake --build current directory -- target install. And now we need to pray that this will work and not throw out some other error. Alright, cool. So we have one architecture and one build type, which is debug. So we'll go cmake, dcmake, build type equals release. Okay, and then we'll do the same command, and I'll do the same thing for all of the other architectures. So that would be ARM64. So we'll need to change this architecture to be ARM64-V8A. That would be also x86, so we'll need to change this again. And we will also build x86_64, which is regular 64-bit, which aren't ARM. I don't know how to call it. It's just a x86 architecture, but 64-bit. So we'll need to switch this to x86_64. x86 and x86 64-bit version are mostly emulators, which, as I mentioned, I won't be using in this video. I've never actually used them. I'd say 99% of devices today use specifically ARM V8 64-bit, so even if you build only that one, you should be fine. But in my template, you'll have to change which architectures are being built. By default, it's all these four, so it'll probably throw an error if you try to build all 404 and you haven't built SFML for all four. Alright, so while this is building, I'll show just here in the NDK folder. If you go to sources, third party, you should have an SFML folder here, and under lib you should have these architectures. And yeah, so this will be done very soon. In Android Studio we will open a directory. Why isn't it loading? Okay, so we'll go under here, downloads, and here we have this. We'll open this with the little Android symbol, and that should be fine. Let's click on OK, click on Trust Project, and now hopefully Android Studio will do its thing and it will build successfully. Okay, so it has opened up and this should be done. This will allow you to debug on your Android smartphones, so you should allow that. And I can close the command prompt, we won't be needing that anymore. Alright, so it says Gradle build, show all. It is downloading the latest version of Gradle. So while this is being set up on your Android device, you'll need to enable developer options. So under About Phone, software information, in this case I have a Samsung phone, so I'm not sure it should be quite similar for any other Android phone, but you'd basically tap a few times the build number, and now you're a developer. And I messed up the passcode. Okay, and developer mode has been enabled. Okay, great. So now you'll go back here into developer options, and what you'll need to enable is under down here USB debugging. We'll click on OK, and now you should be able to connect your phone directly with a USB cable to your PC. And if we do that, it'll ask for allow USB debugging. I'll say always allow from this computer and allow access. And that should be it. We should be connected. Okay, I see Android Studio is still downloading stuff. Alright, so it seems to have configured the project at least. So my phone is up here. It showed up after some time. And this is our project directory. I see CPP folder is still not, it still does not show the main.cpp. Oh, moving files while indexing in progress and not sure. Okay, so it seems like everything is done. Our device is up here. Not sure why Pixel Fold is here. Oh well. Let's see, what do we have here? So the CPP folder seems to not be available for some reason, not sure why. Alright, so here we have our build.gradle file. Here you'll be able to change your, so basically all Android apps are in this format, com dot and then your username and then your app name. Then we have the version code. So for Google Play, you'll need to, for each new version, you'll need to increment this number or somehow otherwise specify. But no two versions can have the same ID. And then you can specify the version number, the full version here. And this is what I mentioned. So all four architectures are specified to be built here and here. Here you'll specify the minimum Android version that your app supports. And that's, I think, about it. Oh, here are the NDK versions. This is my version I use at my PC, so I think you'll need to change this. We'll see. And yeah, okay, that should be it. Let's see. If we go make module, what do we get? We'll probably get some error. Okay, so CMake 3.24.0 was not found. Our CMake version, let's see. I think it was version like this. Okay, so we have 3.30.1. We'll need to change that first of all. Okay, and we'll also change the NDK version just to be sure. It seems like it installed the older version. That is not great, but oh well. We'll copy this one and use that one. So this, paste. So we'll use this one. And now we need to sync, which should hopefully work. CMake 3.30.1 was not found in path SDK. Okay, cool. So I changed it to 3.30 and it would like to use some other version. Cool. So I guess we'll use 3.18, it seems like. If that installs, I don't know what it's doing currently. Build successful. Interesting. So I'm not sure what did I do. What if I specify it like this, if I don't specify a version? Okay, cool. So if you just straight up remove this version, it will install whatever version it thinks it might be useful. For me it was 3.18, which does work. So give that a try, I guess. And here we have our SFML circle example. Okay, so now we'll need to build. I like to go up here, and in fact we cannot build for some reason. Okay, cool. So it seems to have successfully built, and now it's running, and there it goes. Okay, so it seems to work just fine. Who am I kidding? So yeah, you'll need to install, or at least let Android Studio install whatever version of CMake it thinks it's fine. As I did here, you can just remove the version specifier line here. And for me, it just installed CMake 3.18. And yeah, then you click on run and it seems to work just fine. So let's pause this again. Not sure what will this do with my recording. Cool, let's start it again, why not? Alright, so if we change here in main.cpp, for example, I don't know, the color of the circle to, let's say, red. We save that, we click here on run, and we let it do its thing. Launching on all devices, great. And there it goes. It's now red. The circle is red. Okay, so a few things to note here that I found out. So when it comes to SFML on Android, of course, it has a limited support, so not every functionality of the desktop version is here. For example, shaders are completely not supported here. Although I do have a repository on my GitHub page where you can find a version with shaders, though it's still in development. So if we go here and then over here, if you go to SFML here and then SFML 2.6.x-GLES2, this allows you to use shaders, although for that you'll have to change one line in CMake lists here down at the bottom. This GLES version 1, you'll have to change that to just GLES version 2 like this. But everything else building wise should be identical on this branch. And it should be just a drop-in replacement for any existing SFML code. Another thing is clipboard support doesn't exist, joystick support doesn't exist, and so on. There are a few things that aren't supported. You can add these yourself, I guess. But yeah, that's just a few things to keep in mind. What else? Yeah, I don't know. That's basically it, I guess. So it works. It's not as straightforward since some changes in the NDK have made things quite broken, I guess. But yeah, if you download version 26 of the NDK, it seems to work fine. I just tested it now, and yeah, that works. It took me almost 2 hours. It's gonna be great to edit this video down. But yeah, I guess that's everything. As always, thanks for watching, and until the next one.